Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas, and welcome to the 21st video in a series of game development tutorials on how to make your own visual novel style game in Unity. In this tutorial, we'll be adding a splash screen. We'll link everything together in the main menu and make sure all of our buttons work correctly. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload. Feel free to leave a comment and drop a like. I also have a Patreon page where you can help be a part of this channel. You also find all the scripts and the assets to this series there too, along with plenty of other things. You can also now join as a free member. Now, on with the tutorial. So, up till this point, we're looking really good now. We've got all of our scenes in place. The only one we don't have ready to go is the splash screen. And a splash screen is essentially the first screen that you would see whenever your game loads. So think about whenever you load into whatever game you're playing, whether it's Final Fantasy, and you see the Square Enix logo, that's the splash screen. So best thing to do is to use your very own logo in all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to the textures folder and I'm going to import my own personal little logo. It's nothing fancy. It's the one I've been using all these years on whatever tutorials I do, whatever games I make. And I'm going to use this to basically create an animation for a splash screen, and then we'll link that main splash screen to the main menu. Firstly, though, let's go to our scenes, and we have to ensure that our splash screen is indeed scene 0. The reason it has to be scene 0 is whenever you start up Unity, 0 is always the first scene that is loaded into the game. You can do whatever you want from there. Obviously, you could take scene 0 and then you could make a script that instantly takes you to scene 7 or something, whatever. But 0 is always the starting point. So let's go to our scenes and let's go to splash screen. Now, because the theme of all of this is a white background, that's exactly what I'm going to start with. So game object and UI and raw image. We'll stretch the whole thing and 0, 0, 0, 0 it all out. As always, remember to set your canvas. So we already know how to do this. We've done it many times. So scale, set your resolution, and make sure it's matched dead center. Perfect. Let's rename the raw image to background. And this is where you can either use text, you could do whatever you want here. So I'm going to create an animation for this logo, and then I'll create another animation just to give you some ideas of what you can develop. After all, if this is your very first game, you need these ideas to, build it yourself. So let's go to game object again. Let's go to UI and raw image. I'm going to center this raw image. I'm not going to change the width and the height. I'm going to do that using the rect tool. But we just need to drag and drop the texture for the logo into there. And you can see it's rather small and not very good right now. So let's use the rect tool. Let's change the size, something like that. That looks okay. So it would look like that. I mean, you could theoretically just have that as it is, just no problem whatsoever. If you want to set your bitmap, absolutely, go ahead and do that. So you'll find that some games do indeed just have that, and you could just have that as it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with an animation with it stretched completely. But what I'll do is actually set a height and a width I'm happy with that I can remember. So we'll say 800 by 200, and that still looks okay. So those numbers I've got to remember. The anchoring point is also important, and let's rename this to logo. Now, let's go to our animations folder, and let's make sure that we do have the logo selected. Let's click on animation, create, and we'll just put this as logo anim 1. Let's press the record button. And firstly, let's actually set this as completely stretched like that. And I'm going to set the alpha as completely 0. After 1 second, so frame 60, I am then going to reset the actual width still as 800, but we'll also set the height back as 200, so it's dead center, and also set the alpha as 255. I'm going to leave the logo lingering on screen for maybe 5 seconds. So we'll go to frame 360 and we'll also set the width as 800, 200. And the reason we basically do that is it just means that the frames between 60 and 300 stay exactly the same. They don't move. So it's basically just setting all the values again. And then I'll have it fade out over 2 seconds. So I'm going to go to frame 480 and then fade out like so. Let's press the stop button and let's go to project and find the animation, which was logo anim, untick loop time, and I'm going to press play and see how this looks. Excellent. So that's just kind of one way of creating that animation. Perfect. I think that's really, really good. Obviously, it doesn't have to take as long as mine does. You could just have it, shrink for that second. You could have it displayed for a second and then fade out. It's entirely up to you. But here's, let's go with another idea. Let's hold Control, press D on that. Let's change it to logo 2. And let me remove the animator so we can create a whole new animation for this. And I'm going to turn off the original logo. You could just do something real simple, like if we set the alpha on our raw image to 0, and let's create a new animation. So logo anim 2, press record. First keyframe, obviously we'll set the alpha to 0, and then we'll set 60, and we'll set it to 255, and then we'll have it display for 2 seconds on this one. So that's an extra, 120 frames. So frame 180, set the alpha as 255 again. So then by frame 240, we've completely faded out. And stop the animation, and logo and M2, untick loop time, and press play. And this is just another one that you could have, just a simple fade in and fade out. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do with your splash screen. I would recommend playing around and seeing what ideas you can come up with. So I'm going to untick logo 2 and set my original logo back on, and just make sure it's still okay. Cool. Yep, that's good. So now we need to make a script that takes our splash screen into our main menu. So to do that, we can go to our scripts, right click and create a new script. And we'll call this splash to main and open it up in Visual Studio. And much like we did with the credits to main menu, it's pretty much the exact same script. You could theoretically use the same one. However, the chances of your splash screen being 10 seconds long, like the credits is well, very, very slim. But it doesn't matter at all. You can have all these scripts. It doesn't matter. Just imagine how many scripts exist for a Grand Theft Auto game. Quite a lot. So using Unity engine dot scene management semicolon. Let's create the coroutine for it. So enumerator, and we'll call it splash sequence. Close bracket and open curly bracket. And I think how long was my animation? I literally did it, and I can't remember how long my animation was. 8 seconds. So after 8 seconds, I am going to take myself to the main menu. So yield, return, new, wait 4 seconds, and in brackets, 8, semicolon. And then we'll do scene manager dot load scene, and in brackets, 1, because 1 is our main menu scene, which means that in our start method, we say start coroutine, and in brackets, splash sequence, open close bracket, semicolon. Let's get rid of the update method and the annotations because we don't need them. Wasted space. Save the script and then head back into Unity. Give it a moment just to compile. And next thing we need to do is go to Game Object, create empty, splash control, and then drag and drop the splash to main onto there. There's no variables, but let's now test this to make sure it does take us to our main menu. So far, so good. Fade out should happen. And we go to the main menu. Perfect. It's almost like it's seamless. It's really nice how that flows. So next thing we need to do is let's add a line of code for this quick game. And I'll talk a little bit about that quick game button when we've written this line of code in. So let's go to, in fact, let's save our scene. Let's go to our main menu. Let's go to menu control and open up the main menu script. And let's create a method for our button. So we'll say public void quit game, close bracket, open curly bracket. And we just put application dot quit, close bracket, semicolon, and save. And what I will do is I will put the entire script for this main menu in the pinned comment for you to download, because over the last couple of tutorials, this main menu script has grown quite a lot, and I know people do struggle with coding, and they would like to go through it, a little bit at a time to figure out what's going on. So it will be in there for you to download. So once we've done that, let's head back into Unity, give it a second to compile, and now we just need to make sure that we set the button. So the canvas, quick game. Let's go and click plus, drag and drop menu control, click on no function, main menu, and quit game, and save. So let's press play now, and let's have a look at this quit button, and then let's talk about it. All good, our buttons all cover, all good, click over them, quit game, does nothing. Now, we have written a line of code there, and it's not that it's doing nothing. The idea of this is that because we're in the test environment, i.e. the Unity engine, we're playing inside the engine, there is no application to quit. So that application.quit line will only function whenever the game itself is an actual standalone application. And what do I mean by that? Well, that's what we're going to do in the next tutorial. So next tutorial is going to be the final one of this series. We're going to build our game. We're going to make sure that that application.quit button does work. We'll fix some bugs. We'll play test. And we'll also talk about where you need to go from this point for you to develop this game further. So remember to subscribe, click the notification bell, and you can stay up to date with every tutorial I upload in various different series. And I'll see you next time.